Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. A couple of runners through the week went pretty good. I thought we were a bit stiff with Benatari, got beat a short half head at a pretty good price. He just drew a bad gate and he ended up getting caught 4 or 5 deep and had no luck and hanging on for dear life, but just got caught the last stride. So he's going to probably back up this week. He'd be pretty hard to beat up the bush, you would think. He's probably drawn a good gate, so gets his chance. Probably a nice horse to follow, a horse called Diamond Luke, ran first up over 1,200 metres. I was tossing up whether to trial him or take him to the races. We ended up taking him to the races, treated it like a trial, and he sort of got back and got home pretty strong. And then we'll go to Geelong in a couple of weeks over 1,400, and you'd expect him to be pretty hard to beat there. Minyinga, she went up the bush in the Eldorado $100,000 race, and wasn't beaten far. Winner won pretty well, but she wasn't far off the mark for a placing. So all three of those horses I thought raced really well. Okay, kick off this week's racing. We've got a couple of runners at Ararat on Friday. So Mutanasek just ran second, probably clearly beaten the other day by a better horse, but I thought he beat the rest of them okay. Goes up to a mile second up, that should be his go. Drawn a bit of a sticky gate, so we need a bit of luck for the first furlong to get across and sort of try and sit outside the leader. If he does that without spending too much petrol, you would think he'll be all over it. A couple of horses in the race that go okay, so I think you probably get reasonable odds about him, but horse worked up beautifully through the week and expect him to be hard to beat. One Penny Red, what do you say about this poor little horse? He just cannot take a trick at all. Only needs an ounce of luck and he'll be winning. So he's drawn 2. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck on the fence and get held up. Hopefully they run along good. He can sort of sit there running 3rd or 4th or something like that and then come off their heels and get a clear crack at them. He's just a bit of a momentum horse and he just needs to roll into it and he just keeps getting held up and in behind traffic and something going wrong with him, but anyway, he couldn't have worked any better through the week. The horse hasn't gone backwards at all, so take on board that the horse is fit and healthy and just needs a bit of luck in running. Okay, we'll jump in the bus on Saturday and head up towards Edenhope. Got 4 runners up there and I think they're all pretty live chances. So Sistine Avenue, we've been running him in maidens and he's been going really well and being placed and whatever, and I've actually just jumped a grey with him. I'm going to take him to a 0 to 58. Doesn't look a big field, it doesn't look a strong field. There's only probably 2 live chances in it, and I think back to the 1,000 will suit him. We'll ride him aggressively from the gate, put him up outside the leader and see how we go. But his work was beautiful this morning and no doubt he'll go well. Real live chance, that horse at good odds. Pantera Nera, he's been knocking on the door. He's run a couple of nice placings the last couple of starts. Once again, we'll ride him forward and get him out of trouble. Drawn a nice sort of wideish sort of gate so he can sort of jump out and sort of just roll forward, and hopefully he'll go really well. Nice sort of horse. He's probably better than this grade, but just want to try and win a race with him somewhere. Benatari, probably a really good thing, beaten last week at Wang. Drawn a nice gate this week. We'll back him up and kick him out, put him outside the leader, and he should be pretty hard to beat. Honey Magic, she's been going really well without a real lot of luck. She's been placed quite a few times in the start she's had for us. This is probably a drop down in grade to what she's been running in, and she hopefully gets her chance there. She's probably doing a good job, this little mare, to hold up. She's been in work quite a while now, and I thought her work through the week was equally as good as what she has been. So, you know, once again, I think all 4 of these horses we're taking up to Edenhope could quite easily be placed or better. Head off down to Stony Creek for the Stony Creek Cup. We won this race with Prince Ziggy last year. He was absolutely flying at the time, and he ended up putting his head in front, which was a great result. Taking a different sort of horse, Young Hostess will go down there. Look, it's throwing her in the deep end a little bit. I just want to see where we're at with her. She can't possibly be going any better, so I'm just going to throw her in the deep end to run her in a nice race. She's won at Stony Creek before. She gets right down on the minimum, which I think really helps her. And we'll just ride her forward. Second up over 2,100 should suit. A little bit of rain around, which doesn't worry me at all with her either. So whether she's up to this Open Company Country Cups, I'm not really sure, but certainly keen to find out. She cops a heap of weight in restricted grade staying races, so I wouldn't mind just jumping a grade, get her down in the weights. I think a little horse like her dropping down the weights is quite significant, so can't be any happier with her. She's in absolute peak condition, so let's have a roll of the dice at a good race. Okay, Wednesday Sandown. Now, Junefield won very impressively there the other day. I've got him in a couple of races, probably lean towards a 1,400 metre Class 1 at Sandown and see how we go there. I'll give him a nice gallop Saturday morning. If he works up good, he can go there. And also Mr. Mo Feed. He won really strongly at Yarra Glen, and he's pulled up fantastic from it. I'll take him into the Geelong and give him a gallop around the track in there, and probably take him to Sandown, a little 1,000 metre 64. I think sometimes you get a horse that when they go up in grade, the tempo of the race really suits them, and I think he might be that sort of horse. He doesn't breathe all that well when he comes out of the gates. He sort of goes really hard, and if I run him in lower grade, he tends to over travel and not finish off, where when they run along, he breathes a lot better and he finishes off. So I'm going to throw him in the deep end, find out how good he is, and give him a crack at Sandown on Wednesday.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse is a horse called Caledonia. She's had the one start, and she was okay. She was just a really sort of young and immature filly, really well bred filly by Reduced Choice out of a Savabeel mare who was placed in the VRC Oak. So she certainly gets plenty of help from mum and dad, but she's probably, I'd almost say she's the most improved horse just on track work. From last prep, she's gone out and she was just a bit of a big baby, where she's come back in this time in. She's quite a real racehorse now. Sort of got her in a few spots over the next couple of weeks. Trialled the other day, but even just the way she looks, she's actually furnished into a really nice sort of filly now, where before she's a bit sort of lightly framed. Now she's switched on, she knows what it's about, and I think you'll find that she'll get to the races and she'll be more than competitive and even get to a grade of racing. So it's always a funny thing when they're so well bred, and they probably don't show you much in the first prep. Do you sort of pull the pin and send them to the breeding barn? But I'm really glad that owner Mike Palmer didn't, and he kept onto her, and I think he'll be rewarded on the racetrack with her.
Hi tipsters, my name's Coralie Nash, and I've been an owner with Emsley Lodge for several years now, and I'm your guest tipster for this week. My tips are at Saturday at Randwick, race 5, number 4, Alizé. This horse has won more than $3 million. She's won her last start at weight for age, and at $3.60 looks to be good value. Staying at Randwick, race 8, number 8, Shared Ambition. This is a quality overseas horse who had a really good, strong run first up and looks set to win. And Flemington is my each way bet, race 5, number 1, Debt Agent. And Debt Agent runs well fresh, and he's just come back from a 17-week spell. He's got a good jockey on board, drawn a good barrier, and at $27 looks pretty good. So good luck, and hope you have a super Saturday.
That's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Well done to Catherine Moon last week, tipping a couple of winners. I think that's the first tipster we've had that's both the horses that they've tipped as one, so well done. I think we're sticking with the girl theme this week, so that's all good. Went down to the yearling sales this week, $140,000 average. Wowee, hey? That's how much you need to buy an average horse in Victoria. A couple of horses we looked at were probably a little bit outpriced. I thought they were, what we were trying to buy, they were just a bit overvalued for us, so we unfortunately didn't buy what we wanted to buy. One of our clients bought a nice little fox wedge colt, so he looks like he might be a chance, but we might head down to Adelaide next week and see if we can find something down there. But at $140,000, I just found that the average was a little bit high for me. What else is happening? Busy week this week on the racetrack, taking a couple up the bush. I'm pretty disappointed if we don't get a couple of winners this week. A couple of horses are going really well, and I think the card should fall right. They've drawn nice barriers and get their chance, and a couple of horses in town next week are pretty interesting too. So until next week, see you later.
My tips are on Saturday at Randwick, race 4. No, see? Now I've got to start again because it's race 5. Okay, Davey. Do I have to go and reintroduce myself all again?
Yep. Good result. Well done, Catherine. I only said Kathleen.